Hello, everybody. Welcome to 9 Pitches, or as I accidentally called it on today's news, 3 pitches, because I was only thinking of my own pitches. But
selfish prick.
I'm so sorry. I'm joined by Ross and Andrew, who have also hopefully brought 3 pitches each, and that'll leave us with 9 in total.
It will.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I'm tired. I'm all right. I'm just too excited. You excited, Ross?
I can't wait for this weekend.
Yeah. You good?
That sounded really insincere.
I can't wait.
But it will be a fantastic show because last year it got our highly acclaimed Cultaholic Wrestling podcast show of the year, and that build was blighted with many injuries. And this year we don't have the injuries, therefore it's going to be the best show of the year, bar none.
And Tony Khan has hinted that something might happen that could make this one of the most memorable things ever or something.
Yeah.
He said this week.
D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown, maybe?
Yeah.
Or it could be anyone. Because it's
Anybody.
Forbidden Door 2. We've brought pitches to the table, but at the time of recording, I believe there's only 4 matches announced for the card.
Correct.
But that's, in a way, given us more freedom with the pitches.
Yeah.
Carte blanche, I think the artists call it.
That's right. So we can just
Carte
do whatever
blanche.
we want.
What does that mean?
Painting.
Painting.
Blank.
Carte
white,
d'or.
White cartridge.
Like NXT's Gigi Dolan, Ross likes art. And
Of course.
we learned this week that she likes very broad art.
Broad art.
No, she likes art in a broad. So she was leaning against like a wall with a mural on it. She's going, oh.
That sounds very Owen Mawson.
That just sounds like she's taking drugs and stroking a furry wall.
It sounds like Owen Mawson.
He likes a good lean, does our Owen Mawson. He likes a good lean on a wall.
Does he?
Yeah, oh, he's a cool boy.
He likes a lean on
He
a
likes
wall.
a lean on a wall, let me tell you
What
something.
does this mean?
He just likes leaning on a wall.
I've
That's
not noticed.
literally
I'm going
it.
to have to notice this now.
That is literally it. When he's talking to someone, he likes a good old lean on the wall. Yeah.
I have to look out for that in the future.
Please do.
Right, let's get on with the pitches. We'll go around in a circle, Ross, then Andrew, then me, round 3 times, and we'll be left with 9 lovely pitches. But remember, it's not what we think's going to happen.
It's what we want to happen.
Ross, your first pitch, please.
We get to the point of the show where MJF is supposed to face Tanahashi. On last week's Dynamite, MJF teased not showing up to Forbidden Door because it wouldn't have been the first time he's done something like that, blah, 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 blah. So let's use that. I've written this down without any sort of sarcasm. Let's use that to create some overbooked magic.
Okay.
Tanahashi makes his way down to the ring and is in the ring ready for a fight. We wait and we wait and we wait, but there's no sign of MJF. The man's a massive scaredy cat and is teased not showing up and, in fact, hasn't shown up at all. CM Punk's music hits. Out comes One Bill Phil, and he says worse the effect of, "Hello, Tanahashi, I'm One Bill Phil. I'm the real AEW World Champion," as he reveals the original title from his lovely red velveteen sack that he had on last week's Collision. "And since I'm the real champion, and you're here to fight the champion, and the supposed champion isn't here, One Bill Phil is here to fill a place on the card and fill your mouth with a knuckle sandwich, you douchebag." I struggle to see how he can cut a better promo than that, to be honest. Phil walks down to the ring, but he's just about to enter the ring, a man in a black balaclava. I've gone there straight away. He snatches the title and the velveteen bag away from Punk's clutches, because Punk's put the title back in the bag to walk down the ring, because it seems more, I don't know what. And the master assailant then commandeers a microphone and says, "I finally got the bag. Now you can go to sleep, you little wazzock." Once again, I struggle to see how he can cut a better promo than that. The balaclava is slowly removed, and it is revealed to be Kenta. And he takes his tracksuit off, and he's ready for a fight. Now, you may recall that Kenta basically said that he and Punk will never happen because of stuff relating to money, but he also tweeted, "I'm so pissed that they planned our match without my permission, and I'm going to make it with no bag." So he's got a bag now. He's got the title in.
The bag.
The
bag.
It's
I like it.
symbolism.
Oh, right, okay.
This is my personal feud, he finished that tweet. Well, now he's got a bag, and that bag has a title in it, and attached to the title is the opportunity at the champion's purse, which is probably bigger than all of the other purses in wrestling. One Bill Phil is like, "Come on." Tanahashi starts doing some sick air
Kenta.
guitar. Huh?
Kenta? Tanahashi?
What?
Oh, he's been. Sorry.
Yeah,
Tanahashi
it's
is there.
got-
Sorry,
I'm
God.
following, I'm following.
Kenta's on the way.
Totally, yeah.
One Bill Phil's in the ring with Tanahashi.
Forgot all about Tanahashi, to be honest.
still
He's
there.
there.
I
He's
told you it
there.
was
Right. He's
overbooked
doing some
bollocks.
sick air guitar.
Yeah, he's ready for a fight to signify that he's happy to go and proceed with things. Just as the bell is about to be rung for this highly mahoosive triple threat match, out comes MJF from the crowd. Wow. He's like, firstly, you're not the champion, Phil. I am. Second, you two little pricks from your little promotion over there in Japan, you can't be running a show of this size. That would be like Tony Khan running this place properly. Whoa. Beep, beep, beep. So since I'm the king of the castle, this is going to be a four-way. Suck my dick, Tony Khan. So we have Punk versus Kenta versus Tanahashi versus MJF and an exhibition match for the ages. The subplots, the rivalries, the prospect of Punk screwing MJF in this match that would set us off on a champion versus champion storyline or something like that. It's overbooked bollocks.
You had me. You've done me. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. You know what I mean? It's one of the...
Sorry.
Right in the nipple.
Hang on. Fraser was wearing that t-shirt the other day.
You got a faction going.
Yeah, what's going on? Hang on.
The arrogance of youth. That don't work, does it? I don't know. It's just a Rockstar t-shirt, isn't it? You saw me wearing it first, though.
Did I?
Yeah, because I came upstairs and you were like, that's a good t-shirt.
Fraser had it on yesterday. I remember that much.
Well,
Have we been sent like some sort of package by Rockstar?
no,
You've got the same-
I bought this one, me.
And he copied you.
He must have done.
What do you think of
Arrogance.
Ross's pitch? Sorry.
I thought it was fantastic.
Cheers, Andrew.
I thought it was fantastic. It did not go where I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to go more in a simple route, but then, you were like overbooked bollocks, but we got to a very nice match at the end there.
It was inspired by the ending of last week's Dynamite.
Yeah.
Return.
I like it.
Wow.
Wow.
It was very wow. I enjoyed the dialogue. I enjoyed the use of wazik by Kenta. He loves that word.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the different like how all four men the so many different crossed wires in that match and everything. But one thing that I thought was, would I just prefer seeing two singles matches rather than?
That is the danger I've made with this pitch here. And
But
I
have link, but if there were just two singles matches, you wouldn't get that link between MJF and CM Punk, maybe.
no.
So I'm going to give it a hesitant yes. It's like
Thank you very much.
It's like it's like diagonally up. Yeah.
Cab.
It's like an Orange Cassidy.
Wants a cab.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a straight up there.
Ooh.
Straight up there, get
Bloody
it?
hell.
You know what I mean? That was no, but I think as well, because of the four-way thing, I think that's a good way to sort of set the precedence, because then you can fork off and you can do the
Careful
you
now.
can do that.
Careful now.
You can do the you can do
VAR that one.
you can do
my
you can
God.
do the singles matches then, can't you? You can
can't.
do them afterwards. Calm down.
Do you want to do a
everyone.
second version of that just in case we can't use the
We
what you
might be
said
able
there?
to do.
You can
Branch
veer,
off.
you can veer
Yeah.
Mahan off and
can veer
finally
away.
do them,
Yeah.
and it'll be great. And I like it.
Andrew said like a fork in the road.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
You can F
You,
off in different directions, but it sounded really
I should have
suspect.
thought about
No,
that
it was alright.
beforehand.
It'll be
you know.
fine.
I hope it
It'll
can
be
actually
fine.
stay in the video.
Yeah, I hope as well. I'm sure
Yeah.
it can.
I don't know.
We'll see.
At least we've done a second take just in case.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, should we move on?
yeah.
Go on then. Okay. Well, mine is also relating to this match, but I've gone all beforehand, building up to it at least anyway. As I like to do. So we're going over to tonight's episode of Dynamite, and it's Adam Cole. He's looking for another shot at MJF, calling the AEW World Champion out for not giving the match the extra 5 minutes it deserved last week. But Cole says he understands why MJF would decline such an idea in the first place, given that he had the champ dead to rights in the middle of the ring last week anyway. And this brings out MJF, who stands atop the ramp with a smirk on his face and a brace on his neck as well. MJF says he knows what Cole is trying to do, trying to coax him into another match. But the fact is, Mr. Boom Boy screwed the pooch. He lost. He fizzled out. Oh dear. Mr. Boom Boy screwed the pooch. And even if MJF did want to step into the ring this week to definitively prove to Cole why he is still the AEW champion and the best in the world, as you can see, well, he's injured, isn't he? And his own private medical professionals, far away from those children in the back that like to play doctor, have advised him against any in-ring action for the foreseeable. So get to the back of the line like everybody else. And let me tell you, Cole, it's a bloody long line. Sayonara. Oh, Sayonara. Oh, yeah, Forbidden Door's coming up. That reminds me. Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yeah, sorry, bud. No can do on Sunday. And Tony, if you try to make me wrestle with this injury, you better have the best lawyers money can buy, because I'll sue your bottom for every last cent you have. You indie fed-loving mark. Whoa, he's going all out. It's just MJ. It's just MJFing it up, isn't he? So throughout Wednesday night, there's numerous occasions where Renee tries to catch Maxwell for an interview to ask about the extent of the injury and what exactly is wrong with him. But when she does, it's clear that he's feigning being hurt. You know, he's seen without his neck brace on before he quickly throws it back on for the interview. It keeps us in suspense about what's going to happen at Forbidden Door. Will he show? Will he not show? Who knows? Now we go to Saturday Night Collision. And we see Hiroshi Tanahashi arrive to the arena with word from commentary that he's there to talk to Tony Khan directly about the status of his match with MJF. We see him enter into Tony's office early in the show, and we see him leave later on as Tanahashi turns to the camera and utters, "I see you on Sunday, champ," in a northern accent. "I see you on Sunday, champ," insinuating a deal has been struck between the parties. Now we go to Forbidden Door and the match itself. So out comes Tanahashi first, air guitar in like Ross said, all seems to be normal. And then MJF music hits. And he's there. What? In his robe. He's got his devil's mask on. He's making his grand entrance as he likes to do. He steps into the ring. And instead of posing and playing to the crowd, though, sort of brushing off the fact he's in the ring with Tanahashi, he walks straight up to the ace, face to face. He slowly peels the mask off, only to reveal that it's none other than Phillip Brooks himself, CM Punk, standing in front of the New Japan legend. He then, he's got his robe tied up at the moment as he walks down, you know, because obviously you'll see all his tattoos if he's got it undone. So he walks down, he unties his robe, and he's wearing the black strapped AEW title, the one that he alluded to carrying around in his red Sakaruni. The crowd comes unglued before he asks for the microphone, and for once he actually doesn't say too much. It's not on the level of Ross's promos here.
I mean, mine was a bit too far.
It was pretty good. He says, "You wanted a match against the champ? Well, here I am. We were supposed to dance this dance last year, and I told these people I've got a lot of unfinished business left in between these ropes. I'm nothing but a man of my word, Tanahashi. Fight me." And then they have a fight, and it's delightful, and it's very simple. And there you go, it's grand.
Seems like we both really want, I think I want it as well, but we've all kind of sown the seeds, not fully gone for, but sown the seeds of a Punk MJF rematch in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
The way it's got to go, isn't
that's
it?
what's going to happen, because they both got the belt.
So.
Yeah.
Echoes of Punk and Cena back in the day.
Yeah.
There was lots of that with his heel stuff as well. You know, CM Punk's promo on Collision and the stuff he did.
Oh my
in
God!
WWE.
Now he's the New York Yankees.
Oh my God!
Oh, wow. It's a yes from me as well. This one. I liked the bait and switch of it actually being Punk and everything. So I'm assuming that when Tanahashi went "see you later, champ," he was talking to Punk. No,
he just said champ ambiguously.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, who could it be?
I'm also glad he was wearing the robe, not only to hide his tattoos, but so that we weren't fooled into thinking it was MJF.
Yes.
Because we would have been like, where's his thick dumpy?
Where's that thing?
dump
That's
truck?
exactly what you would think about first. Thank
So
you.
That's what
it's a yes
Matthew
from me.
thinks about first.
He
does,
he's
yeah.
thick
Stop on the
dumpy.
path,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't.
Loves his arse.
But if I do an Irish accent, he gets really offended on behalf of Irish people.
Potato.
But he objectifies. MJF's thick dump truck, does he? Okay, fair enough.
It's a yes from me as well.
Thank you.
It is a yes from me as well. You've created a lovely estuary of a lovely wrestling river.
Estuary. What does estuary?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word of the source of the river. You know, when it starts in the mountains.
The mouth of the river.
No, that's why it goes out of the sea.
No, maybe it's the source. Yeah, maybe
It is the source, right?
Let us know.
The south.
Bear
So
Grylls will be in the
you
comments.
get to the mouth of
The mouth is the big bit,
the
isn't it?
delta. The delta's the end of the river, isn't it?
Got some sedimentary rock at the bottom.
Yeah.
Lovely.
The shock of the century, I've not mentioned CM Punk in any of my pitches this
Wow.
week. But instead, I've gone for the IWGP World Heavyweight title match, which is not one of the most keenly anticipated matches so far because we've got Bryan and Okada, which is probably, and Ospreay Omega, which are the two big ones. Sonata versus Jungle Jack. Are we calling him Jungle Boy or Jack Perry? Is Jack Perry now?
Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Yeah.
It's
Jungle Boy
like
Jack
Mission Mayhem.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Crazy nickname, innit?
Well, I don't think this match is particularly anticipated because Sonata is not on the level of a global star like Okada or Tanahashi or anyone like that. And also Jungle Boy's just lost lots of momentum. The crowd do not like him at the moment. So I'm trying to take advantage of that with a pitch like this. Sonata wins the match, as many are probably expecting him to, but he's given a good go by Jungle Boy. He comes close on several occasions, but I feel like the crowd probably won't believe Sonata is in any real danger of losing New Japan's top title to any AEW wrestler, let alone Jungle Jack. Sonata wins, Jungle Boy passing out to a Dragon Sleeper rather than submitting, so we're keeping him brave. You know, he's still a brave boy. Sonata's stable get in the ring to celebrate with him. Now, for those unaware, Sonata is currently, he's left LIJ. He's in a new stable called, and I'm not kidding, Just Five Guys. It's really stupid.
That sounds like there's a lawsuit in.
I was going to say that.
Well, initially they were just 4 guys, and then when Sonata joined them, they became just five guys. They're basically the remnants of Suzuki Gun, but Suzuki left them and Zack Sabre Jr. left them. One of them is Taka Michinoku, out of interest. They all celebrate a bit, and then as they go to leave, because Taka's playing he's not the comedic figure we all knew and loved from the Attitude Era. He's actually a bit of a Raji. He's a bit like,
That's his voice now.
Yeah, he's really
swears,
grizzly.
didn't he?
Yeah,
Does
he's
he?
I remember listening to his theme on YouTube, right, from about 10 years ago-ish. I don't know where he was in Japan 10 years ago,
Yeah.
but it just starts with a swear word. And then there's various other swear words throughout the theme.
He's he's just an angry man. Yeah, he needs since he lost the calming influence of Funaki, I think he needs that back in his life. Anyway, Taka, as he's leaving, bumps shoulders with Hook, who's been in Jungle Boy's corner, of course, because he's his best friend, and he's currently checking on his semi-conscious friend in the ring. Taka and Hook bump shoulders, and Taka shouts in his face, all disrespectful. But Hook obviously doesn't back down because he's Hook, and instead grabs him in a huge T-bone suplex. A few weeks ago, we were trying to think what that suplex is, and we were like, butterfly, or is it? A T-bone, I believe, is the suplex Hook often does.
The Shelty B.
The Shelly B. Yes, baby.
Taka is gutted. He's just devastated that he's been suplexed like that. The rest of the stable are ready to fight, but Sonata is quite a cool guy. He's like, no, calm down. All right. And he glares at Hook, who doesn't move a muscle. So he reaches out and gives him just a little pat on the shoulder. He's like, oh, you're all right, you're not bad. I like your attitude. They leave, but now who should be standing behind Hook, having seen this exchange, but Jungle Boy, who's like, what was that all about? And like, where's my respect? He's like reaching out for a handshake, but they've already left the ring. And he's like, well, I'm the one who should be. What? Not you, Hook. He says even, what was that all about? Where's my respect? You didn't even wrestle him. Hook doesn't say anything back, but I imagine the crowd will get on Jungle Boy's case for this a little bit. Hook turns to leave the ring, but Jungle Boy does that classic wrestler, don't turn your back, like spins him round by the shoulder. Don't turn your back on me. Finally, his frustration boils over and he slaps Hook. Hook remains still for a while as the crowd presumably let Jungle Boy have it. Finally, he looks up. Jungle Boy slaps him again. So Hook fires back and the brawl is on. They go back. Don't laugh at the brawl.
No, I liked it.
And the brawl is on.
I like the enthusiasm.
They go back and forth with, I felt a bit like it was a bit Chandler Bing there. The brawl is on.
Could I be any more brawly?
Yeah. They go back. You know when they have to pretend to Joey that Monica's having an affair because Chandler's he's like, yes, that's right, I'm here, so the sex can stop. That's how I felt when I said it. They go back and forth with Hook getting the better of a tired JB. He backs him into a corner and throws those body shots that he does before wheeling away, but as he turns back to Jungle Boy, he gets kicked down below. It's a low blow from Jungle Boy, who has turned to the dark side. He finishes Hook off with a blow from the FTW title, which he takes with him up the ramp before casually hurling it at Taz like Brock Lesnar did to Vince in real life that time. And Taz is obviously fuming, and it sets, and then that's at the end of the pitch. We go from there.
I'm fully on board.
I think they need to bite the bullet with Jungle Boy. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a very likable wrestler until he starts talking. Hello there, I'm Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and I'm on this road to Las Vegas that I travelled last year. And now we're going back down the same road.
Is it that he's not bombastic?
Yeah, boring.
That was the perfect Dumbledore impression that you just did there. That was
Dumbledore?
insane.
Michael Gambon or initial?
That's a Gambon.
Gambon. That's a Gambon.
The inferior Dumbledore.
Yeah.
So good.
Up the Harris.
No,
Up the Harris. I
yeah.
agree, up the Harris.
Yeah.
It's a yes from me as well.
Okay.
I want to see Hook do more. I want to see Jungle Boy turn heel. I think, as you said, it'd be a nice refresher for his character at the moment. Ooh, yes. I don't know what that was. That was how excited I was for that there.
Fair enough.
So yeah. Big yes.
We'll move on now to Ross's second pitch.
Now, everybody in the comments, before you comment, there's an asterisk attached, easy for me to say, attached to this pitch. So before you go and comment what you're going to comment, I know what you're going to say, and I acknowledge what you're going to say. Right, we're in the middle of the show, and John Moxley's music hits. Unbooked Jones over here, says Taz. Good one, Taz, says Tony Schiavone. The BCC minus, that's all he does these days, isn't it? The BCC minus Bryan Danielson, for obvious reasons, are in the ring talking some trash. Moxley then says something like, I can't believe what I'm doing here. I'm the face of AEW and have been since day one, and they haven't got me on the card. This is bull poo. Open challenge right now. Come and have a go. If you think you're hard enough, I can kick you higher than you can kick me.
Oh, no.
I can kick you way up into a tree. I'll make me bleed, then I'll make you bleed too. Dramatic pause. Who could it be? Now, here's where the asterisk clearly is. Golden Lovers music hits. Kota Ibushi comes out with fireworks and flares in his hands. I know he's not with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it's where he's most synonymous with over recent times, in my opinion, and it looks like he's destined to appear in AEW at some point in the near future, so it counts okay. Stop your comments.
I think that's fine. Yeah, it's all right.
Something mental happens between these two mental men where in a match where anything goes. It's big, it's daft, it's gnarly. It's what these two lads love to do. And more importantly, it sets us off towards blood and guts between the BCC and Kenny and Kota and the Hung Bucks, or whoever's going to be in the match with them. And I was thinking just of why this pitch came around, like Omega and Ospreay, and with Tony Khan, what he was saying about the big surprise at the end, whatever he said. Everyone seems to think that Kota will either get involved in the match or appear just after. So let's just whizzle-wazzle everybody and do it in the middle of the card.
Right.
I like it.
Catch
Fair
them off
enough.
guard.
Yeah, it would. It would.
It would.
It certainly would.
Big yes from me.
That's the end of
It's a
the
yes
pitch.
from me as well. Yeah, fair enough.
I
Can't argue with that.
don't, because again, we like to leave the element of surprise for these when we come in, don't we? You know what I mean?
It's a shoot video.
I feel like, well, again, a similar one for my next one.
Really?
Sort of is, yeah. And hands down, we just haven't spoken about this at all, have we? Bloody hellfire.
Oh.
You know what
Maybe
I mean?
we should we? No, we shouldn't start.
No.
I like the shoot element of these.
I like the
videos.
shoot element.
We
See-
can more than one person around the table can
Yeah.
want the same thing.
Exactly.
I haven't got a Kota Ibushi pitch, so it's
Hey,
all
there
right.
you go.
I
Yes.
don't. I envy his youthfulness.
Yeah.
Because he's nearly 40 now.
No, he's
He
not.
must be over 40 by
Is
this
he
point.
I'm
actually?
going to have a little Google now.
What fountain of youth?
I reckon he's pushing 42 at this point.
He looks ridiculous, yeah.
I'm sure we've been saying this. He's nearly 40 thing for about
For
7
40
years.
years.
I can't find him. I've mistyped.
Doesn't exist.
I keep typing match of the day. It keeps
He's been
coming
a
MOTD.
Figment of our
Kota
imagination.
Ibushi. There we go. 41.
41. Wow.
No, he's not. That's a lie. That can't be true. Andrew, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Again, also, I was just said there. We'll get into it. Let's just do it. We're going back to Dynamite once again, and we're looking towards the Blind Eliminator tournament for a shot at the AEW Tag Team Championships. Andrew Zarian tweeted on Monday that from what he's heard, it's basically going to be like the Lethal Lottery. And if you don't know what the Lethal Lottery is, it's a concept sort of within WCW, and they played with it a few times, where wrestlers' names are drawn at random, and then they're paired together as a tag team, so you get some wacky mashups. Wow. Some people are into this idea, and some people aren't, but I want to throw an idea in there, you know what I mean, into the ether, because I think it's quite an interesting concept, actually. I know we're like, oh, these thrown together tag teams, this, that, and the other, but you've got stuff like it could be enemies from either faction after like team up, and I think it's quite exciting, personally. Tony Khan announces that since Forbidden Door is only mere nights away, there's going to be a few surprises in this evening's tournament, and those surprises, it turns out, are that the tournament isn't limited to only All Elite Wrestling superstars, but instead also extends to those within New Japan Pro Wrestling too. Not only that, the winners will go on to challenge FTR at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view itself as well. So we can get pairings I've written down, like Danhausen and Toru Yano, Minoru Suzuki and Hook. I'd like to see them two together. You got Wardlow and Jeff Cobb, Naito and Eddie Kingston, I said. Because Naito's quite kind of like, he's a relaxed boy, and Kingston's like an intense boy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I like that kind of
How will they get along?
dichotomy. Yeah. That's a word. The list goes on, but essentially some names might initially be like, why in a way some people were with the original Lethal Lottery matches in WCW, but then they just end up playing really well off one another. One of those odd pairings in the match is Jon Moxley and the current leader of the Bullet Club OGs, David Finlay. Two leaders of two of wrestling's most dominant factions. They absolutely tear through the competition, which leaves the final two names to be drawn from Tony Schiavone's big old bingo tumbler. Hangman Adam Page. At this point, both Moxley and Finlay are relishing in the revelation that they get to put the beat down on everyone's, apart from CM Punk's favourite cowboy. And who is his partner going to be? But wrestling's golden star, Kota Ibushi. Yes, as Ross said, he's not actually part of New Japan, but there you go. He's quite synonymous with New Japan. It counts, doesn't it? Yes, what a coincidence that would be, but it's wrestling, and we bloody love wrestling. The two boyfriends of Kenny Omega managed to get the upper hand on the heels and win the tag team eliminator match, punching their ticket to face FTR for the titles at Forbidden Door. And then I said this could lead to a number of things down the road. Obviously, we get the tag match at Forbidden Door, and it could be easily interrupted by members of the BBC. No, the television interrupted by members of the Blackpool Combat Club, allowing FTR to retain the titles. And then I guess there's the factor of having Ibushi appear in AEW, team with Hangman, and then eventually be obviously reunited with Omega, building towards a Golden Elite versus BCC Blood and Guts match. And then also I've said, with regards to everything happening, in terms of CM Punk now being back, and things have been said, and there's, at least in my eyes, the tantalizing aspect of, these are Phil's boys in FTR versus members of the Elite. Hello. What could we have there? Bit of drama. And then that can just build off all the talks around in AEW at the moment as well.
You know what? I was going to give this a no, and then you've said that bit at the end there, and you've revealed your motive behind all of this, and I'm going to switch it around and give it a yes at the 11th hour.
Thank you.
At first, I was like, are we throwing away Ibushi's big debut by having him in a tag team with Hangman when everyone wants to see him with Omega? But no, you've convinced me otherwise.
We'll eventually get
Yeah,
there.
we will. I'm just being impatient.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's actually made me analyse my own flaws. For that, I'm giving you, I appreciate that. I'm giving you a yes.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Jack.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I echo everything Jack just said.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Thank you.
I was also rolling my eyes when Finlay was mentioned, but he didn't win in the end. So it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good. Don't worry.
I was going to write a Bullet Club versus Bullet Club thing, but I thought, I don't care
That's
about
what
the new one.
I thought that as well. I was like, I'd like that. And then I was like, would I like that?
Because you
Not
could
at the
have,
moment.
3 stages of Bullet Club, couldn't you, kind of, in a way?
Yeah, I guess you could, couldn't
Yeah,
But nah,
Never mind.
I've titled this one. Well, no, because that's spoils. This is my second pitch.
Yeah?
Yeah. As I mentioned in the previous pitch, most people will be very surprised if a title ended up changing hands at Forbidden Door. So that's why I think we need to do it. And one title that could really use a refresh is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It's still got a very talented division around it, but I don't think it's really hit its previous heights since Kushida went off to America and Will Ospreay went up to heavyweight, and they lost various members of what was a very talented division in New Japan. The current champion is Hiromu Takahashi, who's been champion loads of times before and can definitely afford to lose it, putting it on the line against the winner of a Collision Battle Royal this week. Wait a minute. Is Forbidden Door on Saturday?
Sunday.
Oh, so Collision is still happening this week?
Yeah.
All right, that's okay. So there's a Battle Royal on Collision. The winner of it gets a title shot against Takahashi at Forbidden Door. And the winner of that Battle Royal turns out to be Swerve Strickland.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Who goes on to beat Takahashi at Forbidden Door. We then get weeks of vignettes, title defenses, Swerve being the very entertaining man he is. We've talked before on loads of videos about how Swerve is great, and even though he is utilised, still very underutilised given his level of ability and charisma. If New Japan can get away with it, I think Swerve should hold the belt, if New Japan let AEW get away with it, I think Swerve should hold the belt until Wrestle Kingdom, where he can lose it to New Japan hero Master Wato, who in real life won the Battle of the Super Juniors this year, but lost his title shot. So this is kind of a redemption thing on the New Japan side of things. But for a Western audience predominantly, this is all about getting more eyes on Swerve, I think, by having him be this... really milking the fact that he's taken this belt away from New Japan. I think this would hopefully give him a bit of momentum back, and the heel run would hopefully boost not only his notoriety and the prominence of the belt, not only boost his notoriety, but also the prominence of the belt in the global wrestling scene. I've ended it with scene. I think I'd recently listened to a Jamie Carragher interview while I was writing the pitch. Do you know Jamie Carragher? Very scouse man.
Very
Talks
scouse man.
Talks about the football.
chicken goujon.
Sometimes he ends things by going,
Well, it's good because you end it with that because unseen. You know what I mean?
unseen, yeah. it's very
English.
Sue!
good. Yeah.
There's another noise.
It is another noise.
It's a yes from me. Anything from Swerve Strickland, getting,
yeah.
like, showcased like that is a yes from me because he is the total package. Said it
He
many
is.
times on the podcast.
He is, yeah.
He should be utilised higher up the card.
Yeah, it's a yes from me as well because I think him in that role would be tremendous.
I feel like both my pitches so far have erred on the sensible side of things, but don't worry, friends.
Oh.
My third one's really silly.
Oh,
so
I'm
there we go.
excited.
I've gone 3 sensible today.
Oh,
I feel like I might have
three
jumped-
fast, 3
I
sensible.
think I might have jumped the shark with the silly one, so we might knock them on the head.
Oh, what?
Build up my really silly.
No, I'm just speaking about me personally. Right then, so we're ready versus Jungle Boy versus Sonata for the IWGP Heavyweight title. Hook is at ringside because, as Jungle Boy said last week, this is going to be the summer of Jungle Hook.
I can't believe how much that sounds like Dumbledore. That is
I'm
insane.
really not getting the top.
Really?
No.
This is going to be the summer of Jungle Hook. I can't.
Did
Anyway,
you put your name in the comment?
just before Sonata is set to make his entrance, Eddie Kingston gets in the ring from the crowd and bemoans the fact he's been overlooked and stuff like that, stemming from the last few months and last week's Dynamite. His big return happened, but then Ospreay was there to overshadow it. And that's even though I know he left AEW but of his own accord, but let's forget about that and put it to one side. Eddie is going on and on and on, and Jungle Boy and Hook are getting closer and closer and closer to Ed as he threatens to derail JB's big title match. Jungle Boy is now getting furious because Eddie just won't leave. So much so that the pair are now nose to nose, and Hook is sort of in the background looking hard like he always does, maybe eating some crisps. But then Eddie takes a step back and just starts smiling at Jungle Boy, and then thwack, Hook takes out Jungle Boy and maims him with some kind of foreign object repeatedly. We fear the Jungle Boy might be dead.
Oh, wow.
That's how much he beat him up. Eddie and Hook then do some sort of cool handshake, and now it's Eddie with his protege Hook in his corner taking on Sonata in what was, remember, an open challenge. Jungle Boy didn't answer it. Eddie is now answering the open challenge. I would then love to see Proud and Powerful come back and help Eddie become the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, forming a new faction with Eddie and Hook and Santana and Ortiz, but I feel that's more unrealistic than George Miz turning into chips through a solid steel cage. So we'll put that on the sidelines there, just as a accoutrement if you want a picky tea.
A picky tea. And we love them at this
I love
time
a
of
picky
year.
tea. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
the picky tea
that
part.
was that. I think that's a tremendous pitch right there.
Thank you,
a
Andrew.
tremendous pitch. I think Eddie Kingston and Hook together would be, something
New York,
spicy.
innit?
Yeah, something
Coolness.
spicy. I think that would be really, really good. And who doesn't want to see Proud and Powerful as well? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I wish they were friends again.
Me
Yeah.
too.
It's a big yes from me as well. Even the accoutrement at the end there as well. I
Piggy
love
tea.
it. Yeah,
Piggy
because
tea.
I know that New Japan are trying to build up Sonata as like their next big. Eddie Kingston's way more exciting than Sonata, so we'll just get him instead. And I think that also him winning New Japan's top belt will probably be like making all of Eddie's wildest dreams come true.
Oh
would
yeah,
be, wouldn't it?
absolutely.
He's more of an all Japan fan, I've been led to believe, but he'd still love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot fighting.
Yeah, shoot fighting.
Hurricane. What?
I don't know. I like it when you say Hurricane and Kata Hajime and all that stuff. It's
fair
good. It's good, isn't it? My final one is a very, very basic one, as I like to do every now and then. And I'd just like to see more women's matches this time around. I believe Stardom have a show, though, the same day as Forbidden Door.
Oh, did they?
I think so. So it's to be expected that we don't actually see a lot of, if any, sort of Stardom talent on the card, which is a massive shame, I think. But we can certainly dream, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to dream, everybody, all right? Because it's pitches, yeah. But here's a few faces. Here's a few matches. I've pitched a few matches that I would like
Well,
to
Stardom
see.
are, of course, my favourite promotion of last year, so I'm looking forward to
Of
them.
course,
Yeah,
of course. So we've got Mayu Iwatani versus Toni Storm. No title on the line. I want IWGP Women's Champion and AEW Women's Champion just going at it.
One's really nice and one's really evil as
Yeah.
well, so it writes
So
itself.
and so rather than having because I feel like sometimes you know what's going to happen when a title's on the line in terms of who's going to
Okay.
win this, that, and the other. So I'm saying no titles on the line, just bragging rights. We're going back to Survivor Series, everyone.
Fair
you know. I've got Julia versus Chris Statlander for the TBS title to sort of contradict myself.
Not
there.
Julia Hart, Giulia from
Yeah,
Stardom.
Julia.
fair.
Amazing powerhouses, and I think it'd make for a quite intense match.
Yeah.
I think that'd be very. What's
fair
your
enough.
thoughts so
Is
far?
Julia a powerhouse?
I think so. She's pretty brutal.
Yeah, she's not a strength girl.
No, but like
she's
intensity. Intensity. Hikaru Shida versus Sayuri. Ex-tag team partners and rivals.
Are they?
I don't think they've had a match against one another since 2019, and they haven't had one together in America either, at least. So it'd be a great showing for Sayuri in the West, especially pairing her with someone who they know each other super well, don't they? Yeah. And the final one here, it's a very short pitch, everybody, but I would like to see Willow Nightingale put that women's New Japan Strong Championship on the line against Tam Nakano, Ruby Soho, and Suzu Suzuki as well.
This is the wonderful matches you've pitched there. How late is the show going?
I'm just saying. Why? Let's do it.
Well, fair enough. Yeah,
let's just. Well, there's only 4 matches announced so
Actually,
far.
there is only.
Let's have the other 4 matches just be women's matches as well. You know. So for the New Japan Strong Championship.
Well then.
Oh. Well then.
I was just saying, are we missing out on by having all these matches? Are we missing out on ones that could have had more of a build? But it's Forbidden Door. It's a long build. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Go on then. Go on.
Go on then. Thank you.
Go on then.
Yeah,
Jack said it, so I'm going to agree with him.
Yeah, go on.
He's got the informed opinion here.
I've been watching. I've watched Willow Nightingale's recent entrance like multiple times. They put like a Twitter video out of her just coming out just before Sky Blue came out, and had the big reaction because she was in Chicago. But Willow's entrance, just so charismatic.
So
the bit where she
charismatic.
dances down and then she times it. She goes like, she bursts like a star. She goes bang, and it's timed with the music like of her song. It goes like dew, and then she turns into a bit of this, and I'm just like, oh, what a baby
It's
face.
fantastic. She's great.
It's like she's from the 80s. It's amazing.
Carlton was that?
Huh?
I thought that as well. They did the arm
Swinging
thing.
arm.
A little bit,
Oh,
but
bit
it's
of
more
Carlton.
like it was a little bit more slow than it wasn't as frantic as the Carlton one. But she goes strut, burst, Carlton. It's an amazing sequence of events.
You could be a choreographer, Jack.
Then it cuts to Toni Storm, just like mockingly nodding her head as if like, oh, this song's really good. But it is.
She's
Toni
probably
Storm.
deep down inside. She's like,
I think so.
This is a banger.
So to preface my last pitch, I finally took a Fraser film recommendation and watched a film that he'd recommended to me.
Chicken Run?
I've already seen Chicken Run. I saw it as a child.
Cinema.
It's amazing. But he always recommends, even though he knows that these aren't the 2 genres I'm into, he always recommends horror films or superhero films.
Horror films are dead good.
No,
I was never
disagree.
a big fan.
I think they always fall back on the same tropes and just become.
Sometimes they do it.
Not your Terrifier.
Oh,
What's your
Joanne
Terrifier?
loves Terrifier, and I think it's horrible.
If you like kills,
Disgusting.
with no story.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not a bit of me, that one.
All right.
A bit too much for me, that one. Joanne loves it.
What horror are you into then?
I like
Halloween.
That is actually one of my favorite ones. Halloween.
Okay.
I like that's a very like the
classic
original
one.
ones. They're good.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not really into them or superheroes really. So Fraser will always just go, "You should watch this. It's really good." He always phrases it like that as well. You should watch this. It's really good. And it's always a horror film or a superhero film. But I watched, in preparation for the recently released Spider-Man one, I watched the original, the one from like 2018, Into the Spider-Verse.
That's the original.
Well, the original,
Into the
as in,
original
like,
animated like.
so,
the
right.
just out of these 2
things.
films, it's
Yeah.
the first one. And honestly, even though I think part of it is because I can't watch superhero films these days because they're all like the Marvel stuff's all interconnected and self-referential, and I just don't understand what's going on. Whereas this was the first film in what's going to be a series, and I thought it was really good.
It's amazing.
It's really good.
The animation is fantastic.
The animation was fantastic. The story was quite simple, but it didn't need to be anything more than that. So bear that in mind. But this kind of inspired this pitch, right?
I'm intrigued to see where this goes now.
Eddie Kingston isn't scheduled for a match, but he comes out and grabs the mic, says, "Hey, hang on now. I'm in the G1 Climax in a couple of months, but there's someone who isn't in my group that I really want to face anyway." Oh, wait, hang on. No, wait, I've got this wrong.
Wait, what? Wait, are you just making this up on the
change this?
spot?
No, I didn't. That's right. Originally, it was going to be Ishii, who is in his group in the G1 Climax, but I changed it. There's someone who isn't in the I really want to face him anyway. Menorah Suzuki, get your Willy out here now. I know, yeah.
Really?
It was I've seen it before.
What is Willy?
Yeah, Suzuki's. Yeah, I've mentioned this on the podcast before. I was in the same changing room as him once. He just getting changed, and I just glanced up. Oh,
Big
there it
chopper.
is. Can't remember. But
It's what everyone wants to know. You might as well.
I feel like if it was particularly big or small, I would have remembered that. I guess it's average because I didn't.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, first.
It was flaccid. I can't speak to what it's like. Suzuki comes out clothed and gets in the ring. squaring up to Eddie Kingston, and Eddie says, all right then, Minoru, how about we make this a no-holds-barred death match? On the stage, we see Tony Khan and Takami Obari, the New Japan president, furiously trying to stop the match, or at least sanction it first, because, my God, we can't. These guys are going to tear into each other. On commentary, they explain that, hey, Suzuki is technically a free agent now, the same problem that you two had with the Ibushi stuff. So he can do what he wants. But Tony and Obari probably don't want Eddie to risk injury prior to his G1 Climax commitments. It's in both of their interests to keep him healthy. So they're panicking over this brawl that's going on in front of them. That doesn't seem to matter because Kingston clatters into Suzuki and the fight is on. And before long, the fight spills into the crowd while Tony and Obari look on nervously from the stage, where they're joined by a third figure. It's Scott D'Amore, who grabs a mic and says, you didn't think Forbidden Door was just New Japan and AEW, did you, boys? Kingston and Suzuki stop and look at the stage like, who said that? And as they're distracted, they are flattened by PCO flying from the top of one of the crowd entrances onto both of them. It's like an unsanctioned triple threat brawl. What's going on? The fight spills backstage and they pass a closed door which says, strictly no entry, keep out. But they don't see the sign and they all barrel into it and the door flies off its hinges and they're in a dark room. The only source of light coming from a mysterious humming door frame in the middle of the room.
Oh my God. I know who it is.
What?
I know who it is.
What do you mean?
What, the door? That's
You know
humming.
Yeah, it's the Forbidden Door.
Oh.
What do you think it
I
was going
thought
to
it was
be?
going to be Bray Wyatt.
Oh, no, God, no.
Oh, okay. That's where I thought it was going.
They all battle around the door until Eddie goes for a back fist, but his opponents duck and he teeters and wobbles and finally falls into the doorway where he's hit with electricity and spun round faster and faster until eventually he disappears. Suzuki and PCO look at each other, shrug, and then keep brawling. We cut to Eddie falling through a void going, until eventually he lands in an identical room to the one he was previously in, but now there's nobody there. He walks tentatively through the corridors of the Scotiabank Arena, but things feel slightly off. Certain things are different colours, or certain people look a bit different. He gets to the arena and heads back to the ring, asking the crowd what the hell is going on, but they're just as confused as well. He gets in the ring and is interrupted by a certain theme music. SOS, I hear them shouting. I hear them crying.
Goodness.
It's Kofi Kingston.
How?
Kofi comes out and runs to the ring where he says, Eddie, there's no time to explain. I'll keep this short. You've fallen through the Forbidden Door and into the wrestling multiverse. I am this universe's Kingston and you are your universe's Kingston. My name is Kofi. And Eddie says, what kind of universe is this? And he says, the WWE universe, of course. Kofi explains that they have to put on a great match to return everyone back to their home, Eddie get back to his home universe and all that. Eddie says, wait, in my universe, I was in the middle of a triple threat match. Who's the third guy now? And they turn to the entrance ramp and another piece of music hits. Somebody call 911. Shorty. What?
I was hoping it was.
It's singing sensation. Sean Kingston. Sean Kingston is not a wrestler, but thanks to the expertise of the other two Kingstons, they put on an acceptable match. Everyone gets sent home to their own universes and they all live happily ever after. And then the credits roll and Sunflower by Post Malone plays because that's Spider-Verse.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's emotional, isn't it? Yeah.
I've been taken on a ride.
What's happened here?
I don't know.
Apparently in films now, all the rage is to have multiverses.
Yeah.
That was good. That was really good.
I didn't think it would have this. I honestly didn't think it would have that sort of effect on you, though.
Were you smoking something?
I'm not.
You've been deeply touched by it.
He looks absolutely blazed.
I promise I'm not.
Did it just make all your wildest dreams come true in pitch form? Yeah.
It really did.
Is it a yes from you, Andrew?
Yes from
Okay,
me.
right, fair
It's a
enough.
yes from me.
My yes and no hinged on Sean appearing, and since he did, it's got to be a massive
You
yes.
saw that coming?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to name other Kingstons.
Well, I went on the
Kingston,
Wikipedia.
Jamaica.
I went on the Wikipedia page for surname Kingston and couldn't find anyone that I knew apart from Sean. So
Yeah, up to Sean.
yeah.
Although that song "Way Too Beautiful Girl" is horrible.
That was
Horrible.
originally going to be his theme tune, and then I was like, no, that doesn't fit as a wrestling theme. But somebody called 911.
Yeah.
Shorty Fire. The other one was that I could think of was "Eeny Meeny Miny Mo Lover" with Justin Bieber.
It's a big song, that like.
I think
I'm indecisive. I can't decide.
Then JB does a rap, doesn't he? Oh.
God.
But I think in terms of a wrestling theme, Shorty Fire burning on the dance floor is got a bit more oomph to it. So.
Yeah, definitely.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all right. It's fine.
I don't understand what's happening.
I don't understand
I don't
either. I'm
either.
just saying it was just really good. I just enjoyed it a lot. I just enjoyed it. What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that. Right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. We've got loads of content coming up for Forbidden Door heading towards the weekend, although I won't be part of it because I'm away. There'll be someone else doing What Happened At, but I trust you'll be doing...
No, not this weekend.
Oh.
Decided not to do it. No
Oh.
storylines, are this? It'll just be me going, the move wasn't done quite right. And
Yeah, I guess
can't
so.
show the footage, so what's the point?
Well, Andrew, are you doing...
I'm doing nothing as well.
Oh, you're not Team AEW?
I'm Team WWE, so you'll
it'll
have...
be Fraser and Tom, won't
yes,
it?
it will
Fraser
be.
and Tom are doing predictions on a live stream as well, which will be on YouTube as the show is taking place. There will be a What Happened At, not from me. And yeah, all the reaction in that on the next week's the podcast after.
Which will be
Right
on
then.
Wednesday, by the way. It'll be
Yes.
out on Thursday, recorded Wednesday, because of
Ooh.
our trip to Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You excited?
Aye.
Well, we'll get to that next week, won't we?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be exciting. Oh yeah, there'll be a pictures next week for that as well.
Oh, God, aye.
Oh god, it's going to be a busy week.
We'll have to do that on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, fair enough.
Oh, yeah, we are doing it on Tuesday.
Yeah, we are.
agreed
Oh, it's already
yesterday.
penciled in, isn't
God,
it?
Sure is.
that bloody pencil.
Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Leave your thoughts and opinions. Leave your pictures in the comments section down below as well. Why not? And look out for all that content coming up soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a bit. Are you all right?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.